Hello, my name is Marianne, and this is Noelle, and we're back with another BookTube video. Today, I have a few things to talk about and a few things to show. First of all, I want to start by showing you some gorgeous bookmarks that I got from a friend of mine named Lianne, who does a BookTube channel called Literary Diversions. She also runs an Etsy shop called the Novel Menagerie. I will have all of her information in the description, and also if my editing skills have improved, which I hope they will, you'll be seeing her bookmarks that she sent me instead of my face right here, because I want you to be able to see those, and I think I've learned a new way to do this. So hopefully I will have gotten the skills down right, and that you should be seeing them now. Also, because of course, what is BookTube without books? I want to talk about a series of books actually by author Matt Wesolowski. The series is called the 6 Stories series. They are a really, really excellent thriller mystery series. They're set up as a podcast or in a podcast format. If you read them or if you listen to them as an ebook, which they're also available as ebooks, they're very much like a podcast. You're either reading the podcast script or you're listening to the podcast itself. And similar to the true crime podcasts that are so popular out there today, they are all about different crimes. So far, there are 4 books in the series. I hear there's a new one in the works. Do not know what a title is on that yet, but I hear there's a new one, so it will continue, which is great news because I love all of these books. They're all 5 stars as far as I'm concerned. The first in the 6 stories is, of course, entitled 6 Stories, and I'm going to put the cover up through some editing magic if I've gotten it down right. And it examines a crime from 1997 where a teenager is found murdered in an Outward Bound center in a place called Scarclaw Fell in northern England. The podcast features interviews with 6 people, all connected in some way with the crime. It leaves the reader or the listener, depending on whether you're reading it or listening to it as an audiobook, to figure out who's telling the truth, what really went on, and to just sort of work with the puzzles, which I think is the most fun part of these. I love the format. It's just so interesting to have jumped out into the format of podcast as story format, but also the fact that the stories are kind of left for the reader to figure out. It gives you all the clues, and it isn't until the very, very end of the story that you'll actually find out anything for sure. On the way there, you got the clues. You're getting hints here and there. Now, the story is always done as interviews done by a podcaster by the name of Scott King, whose show is, of course, entitled 6 Stories. And I do love that aspect of figuring it out yourself as you go along. It's always fun to see if by the end of it, you've actually thought of it and figured it out the right way. Now, the second in the series is entitled Hydra, and it examines a family massacre. It's a family massacre known as the McLeod Massacre because, of course, it was the McLeod family. The one surviving member is this teenage daughter who, the crime occurred in 2014, and she ends up being placed in a sort of high security mental facility because, of course, they believe that she did this. Now, they piece through everything and go over what really happened that night and what people actually saw. It all takes place in the northwest of England in a small town. I love the settings on these two. They're always in these interesting settings, very immersive, very interesting settings. At least they're fun for me. I don't know. I like these stories that are placed in England. But basically, it's the entire family is massacred, and she is now 21, and she's been incarcerated in a mental health institution, high security, and of course, Scott King, the podcaster, will interview her, and it interviews also 5 other people who had some sort of connection to the crime, and we hear their stories to figure out what really did happen that night. Was she really insane, or was she actually responsible for her actions on that night? Now, I'm not going to tell you either, so that's something you have to listen to these books or read them to find out. And that's one thing I will state right off the bat here. I'm not giving away any of these stories. If you want to know what happened in the original 6 stories, who killed the teenage kid who was found at the camp, if you want to find out who actually massacred the family, or what actually happened, whether it was the teenage daughter or it was somebody else, or whether it was something supernatural even, you're going to have to read the books. I don't give out spoilers. So, that aside now, moves us on to the Changeling. Or Changeling, actually, sorry. Number 3 is just titled Changeling, which examines another disappearance of a 7-year-old boy by the name of Alfie Marsden in 1988. He disappeared on Christmas Eve under these mysterious circumstances in a sort of forest area up near the borders with Wales. So there's a whole lot of Welsh lore in here that I liked. And there's a lot of hidden folklore about, strange sightings and things in that area. And of course, that's where this boy disappeared. No one ever found him. Now, the story goes through interviews with the father of the child, and even with a psychic who, at the time of his disappearance, of Alfie Marsden's disappearance back in 1988, had given an enigmatic clue, a psychic reading, that she knew where the boy was, but it wasn't really a true place that she gave them. She just gave them this enigmatic little psychic clue that she had divined through her psychic powers. So as you listen to it, you tease out whether she's really telling the truth. Was she lying? Was her psychic ability, all just an act? Was the father really telling the truth? And also, with that one, with Changeling, I think more than the other 2, there starts to be an element almost of supernatural in it as well. An element of the supernatural in that you don't know quite what happened here. Now, I'm not going to say what happened, of course. You have to read the book to find out. But it is a good story. It keeps you going from beginning to end, keeps you very, very interested, very, very plugged into the story. And I found it either by reading or listening, I was equally interested in it. Because I actually did both when I read that. And I also finished and read the 4th book in the series, the most recent to be released and published, which is called Beast. It's the newest novel and examines the death of a young girl, 24 years old, by the name of Elizabeth Barton. It again is in your northern setting. It's a Northumbrian coastal area in this little town. In this mysterious ruins of a castle, they find this girl who's been actually doing YouTube videos. They find her body frozen. They find her dead in the ruins. And then, of course, the question, it becomes, looking back at her YouTube videos leading up to that, is this all just a prank gone terribly wrong? Or is this a cult? How is it that this happened? What happened to this girl? How did she end up there? And why did she end up there? As they go through it, you find out that she had given out clues to some sort of mysterious little dare that was in there. One of those challenges that they do so often, or at least were doing for a while on the internet, was put out. So there becomes that thing of, is that what happened to her? Was it part of a challenge gone wrong? There are 3 boys who are arrested for the crime, 3 young men who are arrested for the crime at the time. And of course, the question also comes into play, were they really responsible? Were they the ones that killed her? Did something else kill her? Was it something else in her life that we're just not looking at? And all the clues, I will say, are laid out there for you, and the answer is not given to you till the very end, which I just love. It's not one of those where you're reading and halfway through you already know what's going to happen in the book. I love having a mystery that places all the pieces there for you. And they're really all there. It's not this magical ending where they come up with something at the end that doesn't fit. But it's really all been there for you to hear it or to read it and to pick out, this, that, this could have happened, that could have happened, and you're puzzling it out as you go, which is really fun. And they're just an excellent series of books. I can't wait to see what the 5th one in the series is going to be. I do hear that there will be one, so that's something to look forward to and to watch for. Other than that, I really, and the bookmarks, of course, that I was showing, that's about what I was going to show in this video. So I guess I will end it there. And thank you very much for watching. If you've watched my videos before, thank you for watching again. If you're new, thank you for watching, and please like and subscribe down below. I'm going to also place the information for Matt Wesolowski and Orenda Publishing, which is his publisher, down below in the description, so that you can go and find these books. It's definitely worth it. They're definitely good reads. 5 stars, all of them. So that's down in the description, along with all of the information for Lianne's Bookmarks and her Etsy shop, where she also sells other items besides the bookmarks. Bookmarks were just what I had picked out from what she sells. But the information will be in the description, and like I said, like, subscribe, and leave a comment. Tell me what you're reading. Tell me what you think. Have you read any of the 6 Stories novels? What did you think of them? Do you share the same opinion as me? That's just the fun of BookTube, I think. We get to talk in the comments and, see how other people look at the same books. So for now, I guess I'll say goodbye, and till next time, and see you in the next one.